You can do it. Put your back into it. Good morning. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I have to go to my radio show, so I have to make this quick. Good morning, Miss Cheryl. Good morning, Diane. Good morning, Angie. Kentucky. What up, Jersey? A lot of Virginia in the house this morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to Coffee Talk. I'm so happy to be home. I'm so happy to be home. I can't even tell you. The first thing that I am going to ask is if you know my son, that you never mention this to him so I don't have to kill you. The second thing I ask is that if you have a child that knows my son, if you want to bring this conversation up to your child, you do so and leave my son's name out of it. Because what happens is some moms from my son's school or other places, soccer, whatever, they watch Coffee Talk and then they tell their kids, well, Miss Sullivan on Coffee Talk today said Olivia blank, 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 or Max blank, blank, blank. And then those kids go right back to my kids. So if you could leave my kids' names out of it, leave my kid's name out of it, and you can certainly bring up the conversation. Okay, so anyway, I get home yesterday from being in Atlanta for a week, which is a long time for mommy to be gone. So last night, I don't know if you guys saw, we had a dance party and we spent an hour dancing to music. Some Paula Abdul, some Debbie Gibson, teaching the kids the old school dances, you know, like the Running Man. Just hanging out. But when Max got home from school, he was upset. And there was a letter in his backpack for me. Basically, Max got a note home because Max called the boy next to him a retard. So I said to Max, where did you even hear that word? Like, honestly, I don't ever use that word. So where did you hear it? He said, Olivia. So I said, okay, Olivia, come here. You're not in trouble. Come here. So I said, Olivia, where did you hear that word? She said, I honestly don't know. I know that I've heard it. So I said, okay. So I said, Max, do you understand why you're in trouble at school? And he started crying. Yes. I said, okay. And then it dawned on me. Do you even know what that word means? And both of them. It's a bad word. Okay. What does it mean? It means, this is what he says to me. It means a word you say when you want to say a bad word. What? It's a word you say when you want to say a bad word. Okay, but what does it mean? What does the word mean? They're both looking at me. He's like, I just told you. I said, Max, what does that word mean? He said, I just told you. It means a word you say when you want to say a word to hurt someone's feelings. I said, you're talking about intention. You're giving me the intention of saying the word. What is the definition of the word? I said, Olivia, what is the definition of the word? She goes, I think it means like, I don't know, something with a D. So I said, so Max, you don't know what this word means? He said, well, I thought I did. I thought it was a bad word you said when you wanted to say a bad word. And I realized there's no freaking parenting manual. Wouldn't it have been nice if I could go to a book, pull a book out? The word he said was retarded. Bad word. Wouldn't it have been nice if I could pull a book out, like a cookbook, and open it up to, hey, the first time your kid calls another kid retarded, here's what you do? Guess what, guys? No manual. No book. So here I am, freeballing it. So I say, okay, let me explain something to you guys. Let me tell you the origin of this word. So I explain the origin and I say, here's why it's hurtful. Okay? So they're still like not getting it. I'm saying people with disabilities, I'm trying to say all the right things, and they're both kind of looking at me like this. Okay. But I could tell the okay is really just, we don't really get what you're saying, Mom, and we really just want you to stop talking. Oh, very good question, Karen Davis. So that's a separate, that's the next part of the conversation. So I say to them, do you know what? So I'm trying to give them ideas of different disabilities, learning disabilities, all kinds of disabilities. But then it became like a, well, what's another disability? And what's another disability? And can you see if someone has a disability? Guys, I wasn't ready for this. You don't realize how many questions they're going to have. Like some disabilities you can see, some disabilities you can't see. That's why you can't say the word ever. Ever. So we have a friend who has a child with Down syndrome. And I said, how would you feel if somebody called so-and-so that word? Now that you have a better understanding of what it means. And they were like, we wouldn't like that. Okay, good. This is what I'm talking about. These are the things that are hurtful. But it's not just children with Down syndrome. This is what I need you to understand. So Lori Ann, who's my one of my best friends in New Jersey, who you all know, has 6-year-old identical twins who are nonverbal autistic. So we FaceTime Lori Ann and we put, hey baby, he's outside.
Back or front?
Don't know. Bill, honey, Bill, if only your sex lasted as long as this conversation, Bill, we'd all be a lot happier. Okay, so anyway, we FaceTime Lori Ann and I say, hey, Laura, I got Max and Olivia here. Would love for John and Nick to say hello. So my kids talk to John and Nick. All right, guys, poor Bill. Oh, Bill, I feel so sorry. Okay. Bill's blocked. Charlie, get some shoes. So anyway, they FaceTime with John and Nick, who are nonverbal, and they see how hard the boys have to work to say pizza, you know? But they don't look, they look, what's the word, Lorianne? You typical. So I said to my kids, do you see how anybody could be struggling? Do you see why that word could be so hurtful? That if you didn't know that the boys had autism and you said that word, how hurtful that could be to them, to Lorianne? And they were like, so what ended up, you know, what started as what I thought would be a 2-minute conversation as bye, sweetheart, love you guys. I gotta go. You know, that was a word we all used in the 80s. Okay, my love. That was a word we all used in the 80s. If anyone tells you they didn't use that word in the 80s, they are lying. We all did, because nobody taught us any different. I taught special education. I was a special ed teacher for 3 years. I have siblings who would probably kill me if I told the world, but like, it's just not acceptable, you know? It's just not. And when you know better, what did Maya Angelou say? When you know better, you do better. We all know better, we all do better. But I actually had to take the time to explain to the children what the word meant and why it was hurtful. Like, I had to go 10 extra steps. My point is, this parenting thing is hard. It doesn't come with a manual, and it is on us to do the work. Because if we don't do the work, we're going to raise a generation of assholes who still say hurtful words that break people's hearts. But you're absolutely right, Kimberly. We did use that word, and we didn't say it to people with disabilities. We said it to assholes running around on the street as to be hurtful. You are 100% right. But we just don't do it anymore. It's just, don't say it around me. Don't say it around me. Yeah. Don't say the R word around me. Ooh, Chile. I cannot see this without some glasses. Anyway, I know that there are a million things happening in your home where you wish you had a manual. Please know that you are not the only one. We all wish we had a manual. You got to do the work. I am disappointed that the teacher did not have a conversation with Max. I wish that the school had talked to him, but you know what? Maybe it wasn't their place. Maybe it was meant for me to have the conversation, because I was able to talk to all my kids, not just Max. And maybe that was the way it was supposed to go. But my son has never gotten a bad note home. So he was afraid. I said, you don't have to be afraid. I don't want to be the mom where my kids go, oh my God, I'm in trouble. Don't call my mom. I want my kids to go, oh my God, I'm in trouble. We need to call mom. Because, you know, Susan was crazy when I was young, but I always knew I could call her. Always. I knew Susan would have my back. Even if I was catching an ass whooping later, I knew Susan would have my back. And that's amazing. That's an amazing thing. So anyway, it's hard, y'all. It's hard. These teachable moments, gives you something to think about, because I don't know. Anyway, if you want to see my radio show, I'm live at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. So like in 50 minutes, I have to go get dressed now, so that I'm not naked on the radio show. But you can watch my radio show on my Instagram at Jamie P. Sullivan. Jamie P. Sullivan. And you can come watch my radio show if you like hip hop. Okay, I love you guys so much. Have a great great day.